App Planning for Success. Brought to you by Software Accelerator Playbook. On Instagram at S.A.Playbook. Today on the podcast, we're talking about how to turn a repetitive process into software. Now, if you're building a business, there's lots of different things that you may not want to do, but you have to do in order to make the whole thing work. If it's an assembly line and you got to get from step 1 to step 10, maybe step 4, 5, 6 is, absolutely essential to the process, but it's really annoying to do, or it's, a lower hourly type job where it's not necessarily, high level thinking, but more of grunt work or just more of just repetitive, annoying work. That's the kind of perfect stuff that lends itself well to software. If you can build something where you input the proper information, it does the calculations, the algorithms, the copying, the duplicating, the modifying, the editing for you, then, while it takes some time to set up, then, week after week, month after month, year after year, you are reaping that reward and feeling, very pleased with yourself that you no longer have to do that task. Now, theoretically, you can also hire somebody to fill in this gap, but what happens when they leave, or what happens if they're sick one week, or whatever else it is? You are then stuck back again doing that task. And so to turn it into software, will then allow you to have more dependability, and then also be able to expand from there. Keep in mind that if you're building step 4, 5, 6 into software, you don't have to build the entire thing all at once. You could build just step 4, but also you can expand from there. So you've got 4, 5, 6. Well, what about 4, 5, 6, 7? What about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? And then what happens is, as you build on, as time goes on, if you're working on automating your processes, and you realize that you can put money towards automation, and that money is then going into an asset that you use every single day, then it's almost a no-brainer when you think about, would you rather put that money towards hiring somebody to do that task, which means that they will have to then be paid for every single day or week or month that they do that thing, versus if you pay for software and you get the software, working and, glitch free, or at least relatively glitch free, then from there you are off and running. You are very happy that, you spent the money up front, but now you're profitable right away. And so this is a really great way to consider, apps and software, because as soon as you finish the software, as soon as the software launches, then all of a sudden you are making your money back. There's instant ROI, and you're very, very happy that, instead of that money now, instead of you having to, recoup that money by, if you had a public app, for instance, where you're, trying to get people to use it, right? You want user adoption. And then once you have user adoption, then you finally get some sort of money flow. In this scenario, when you're building an app for your business to run more efficiently or more effectively, changing that repetitive process that you used to have to do into a software that does it for you, then you're making that money back from day one. The second the software is brought back to you, even if it's not fully complete, and maybe it's only, half of step 4, you are then saving that time where it would have taken you 3 minutes to download this thing or do that thing. Now that you've claimed that 3 minutes back every single day you had to do it. Now, I understand 3 minutes doesn't sound like a lot of time, but 3 minutes times, 5 days a week times 52 days a year, or 45 days a year, how many ever weeks you work, and then multiply it out to years, even just 5 minutes a day is saving a huge amount of time and money over time. And that's the key, is to run more efficiently and more effectively by building systems that will then allow you to reclaim your time. And a lot of the things that lend itself to software, in this case, when you're thinking about, well, what can I automate, or, how do I move forward here? What exactly should I automate first? Think of all your processes that end up with spreadsheets, where you're working with spreadsheets, you're downloading information, you're uploading information, you're processing information. You want to get optics on a certain thing, right? You want to have an idea of, okay, I've got all this data, but how do I how do I make it actionable? What do I need to do next with this data? And typically you're doing the calculations in your head. You're doing specific calculations where you've kind of made up your own computer program in your head for what exactly it is that you need to do. But that stuff can be automated, and it's also, keep in mind, it doesn't need to be this system where you're trying to build this fully automatic, without any human sort of system. That kind of system at first doesn't necessarily work well. But if you come up with a semi-automatic solution that is a helper to a human, not necessarily completely replacing the human, but doing all the stuff that's annoying in between those more difficult, higher level thought tasks. And then you can jump from high level thought task to another high level thought task without doing all the low paid, just annoying work in between. Then you're just being more effective with your work. And so if you depending on how much you pay yourself per hour, if you really do the math there and you figure out, okay, if I save 10 or 20 minutes a day by getting rid of that annoying task, then if I multiply that out by a week, and then 52 weeks, and then 5 years, all of a sudden, there's your budget to be able to automate it. And if you put money into it now versus in 5 years, and you build this thing and you automate it now, then all of a sudden, when you're freed up, you are now able to do more tasks that then actually bring in more money to the business, or get more clients, or reach out to more clients, whatever it is that really, really moves the needle for you, as opposed to being stuck in those, $10 an hour jobs where, you'd rather be, finding another customer. That can be a huge, huge shift. If you can get rid of a job that is just annoying, low paid, and you trade that for a job that allows you to, reach out and actually find more customers, then, it's not only that you're just, saving the time and, putting money in and automating a task. It's that you're actually changing the speed at which your business acquires new customers. And also, if you consider that, part of the automation you could build ends up in the way that you serve your customers, that the way you're serving them is, maybe it takes some manual work on your side. Maybe you've got to prepare a report, or you need to show this information or share this information or do this calculation. If you have software doing it for you, then that 10 minutes that you would have taken to prepare this report every single day or every single week for all of your customers, that can really, really, make a huge difference, and then free you up to be able to make higher level decisions in your business, or, come up with some more, SOPs and really streamline what you're doing, or, take time to really find somebody to hire that can play at a higher level in your business. And then you have them use the software. So it's not even that you're using the software, it's that you can create software that then somebody else can use, but it's being done properly because you have set it up and influenced the algorithm, influenced the calculation, and based on your use of it that it's correct and everything's coming through properly. So then you can trust when somebody else puts information in that that the calculation is being done right. And you could also even create a system where you are getting reports, or you're able to then kind of audit what the software is doing based on these reports, and then you're reviewing data as opposed to having to input and process the data yourself. And reviewing is a lot faster because you're just kind of scanning through, looking for anomalies, looking for things that are wrong, looking for things that are out of place, versus having to kind of pick up the whole weight yourself and move it forward. So if this is you, if you're thinking about automating some processes in your business, you're thinking about an app, for use, for yourself, for your business to run faster, DM me at S.A.Playbook on Instagram, and we will chat more about how I might be able to potentially help you. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you tomorrow.